to Washington, D.C. from Mississippi. She did not catch a plane. She took the train. We were putting her on a plane. So there was some convincing that had to be done. Because of that 2 weeks of relationship building, how strong relationship building is, he helped us out with trying to convince her to get on the plane to fly to California. And we had her for 3 days. And once Southern California knew that this woman was coming to San Bernardino, California, Southern California went berserk. I was handling 100 phone calls a day, people trying to snab her from us, you know, trying to pull her or trying to find a way to fit in their schedule or this, that, and the other. So and with Black Culture Foundation, it was going to be a lot of money for her airfare, so I turned to Brian Townsend and I turned to Dr. Henry. And Dr. Henry covered it, her airfare here to San Bernardino. And when all the newspaper reporters, when that plane pulled in, because it was post 911, because we could still go to Ontario Airport and be there when the planes pulled in. We had all the kids from the PAL Center with their signs. And we were all standing there when the plane pulled up, and she came off the plane and she started crying, and the LA Times and the San Bernardino Sun all captured her, getting her roses from the kids, and she was all choked up and stuff. I'll never forget that. That was a wonderful day for San Bernardino because it reached north, south, east, west. All cultures showed out for this woman, this humble woman that had just got a Congressional Medal of Honor from President Clinton and had also been the one who dropped the New Year ball because of this donation out of love and washing people's clothes. She would charge them, it would go $6 a bundle, then it went to $10 a bundle. And iron them. It's just amazing. Just amazing. And saved all that money, and it's accumulating and accumulating and accumulating in the bank. So that was a major accomplishment for me, I felt, but it was a major accomplishment for our city of San Bernardino, because regardless of who all the heads of state, everybody, everybody was there. And then we were supposed to order maybe just 300 books, 300 of her books. And I said, no, we better not. We better order maybe like 500 books. Them things flew out of there. And it was with Phoenix Bookstore, who did the book signing, and the line went around the bend. So that was the one, that was a great day in San Bernardino because of the fact that it wasn't about Black history, even though it was during Black History Month. It was about history and sharing someone of her stamina with everybody so that they could have the opportunity to meet such a wonderful woman and not just read about her.
Yeah. It's a great day.
It was. It was. And so now with Brightest Star, oh my goodness, there's so many. I don't really know where to do justice with the Brightest Star, because there's been many opportunities that I've done with the Brightest Star. But one that I want to bring up is when Supervisor Josie Gonzalez, she had a small stipend that she was giving to organizations. It was a grant, and you had to compete for it. Well, the Brightest Star was awarded this small grant, and it was building self-esteem, and we had to do it in the rural areas. And so there is a foster home that's in Bloomington. And so with that foster home, I worked with 6 girls. And out of those 6 girls, it was self-esteem building and trying to change their lives and to get them to believe in their self-worth and believe in themselves. Now, at the end of the workshop, I had a surprise for them. They were going to go on the set of American Idol, and they were going to, be able to meet, Randy and, the contestants and this, that, and the other. So I took them to LA, and they did that. And one of the young ladies who was having a particularly very hard time because she was abandoned. She was abandoned at age 9, 10, and now, she's 15, 16. So she's hating her life and everything in it. And the therapist, they're finding it hard to reach her because she's just not letting nobody in, period. So she gets to meet Seacrest. She gets to meet Ryan Seacrest. And she loses it. She's so happy. And I have the camera on him, and I'm snapping the picture, seeing her joy. And I kid you not, it was not even 5 minutes later, I'm sitting on the curb rocking her, because it all stemmed back to when she was 9 and 10. Why did my mother leave me? The joy came out of her that she had been holding in, and she couldn't hold it in when she saw Ryan Seacrest. She just let it all break out. And then she got angry at herself because she wants to hate herself because she's holding negative thoughts and this, that, and the other, and she couldn't have any more negative thoughts. And I'm rocking her because she's crying about, I was a good girl. Why did my mommy leave me? Right after that experience. So all of that stuff that she let out on the sidewalk, rocking, I could turn over to her therapist so that they could help her. I'll never forget. And people are walking by, they have no idea what's going on with this 15, 16-year-old, stemming from something when she was 9. And then out of that group was another young lady, an African-American lady, who was very, very difficult. And now I got a call from Assembly Member Cheryl Brown, and she says, Leah, there's some foster youth that are up here in Sacramento, and they're talking about you. She called me, she left a message on my phone and told me that. She says, I don't know what their names are, but because, the foster youth, I guess for Foster Youth Day up in Sacramento, they can volunteer or do whatever in the elected official's office. Well, one of the foster youth that was in that workshop was in her office and saw me and Cheryl's picture in her office, and she was going, oh, that's Miss Katz, and she was telling her all of the stuff that she had learned. Now, the reason why I bring her up is because that workshop changed her life because of helping her get through her anger and believing in herself, because she's a lawyer type. She's one of those, she just reeks lawyer. And finally, she started believing in herself, and so now She's in law school. She's in law school. I mean, she's doing it all. And I see her now, and my mouth just drops, remembering back to those important moments of when you have got to reach their heart to build self-worth, which is always so combed over. It's easier said than done. So those two milestones with the Brightest Star, even though the Brightest Star in 8 years has done quite a bit behind the scenes that a lot of people are not aware of and don't know, has truly been a blessing. And so then with doing the entertainment reporting, that has been a blessing too. So all of it put together has made me really love. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. And I always consider it so important that, like, if anything happens in our county or in our city, that I know those people who are standing on the stage. You know, I know those people who, this is just not some flyby or just somebody, I know them, and so many people, it's gone up to, how many, what's our population? It's close, a little over 100,000 in San Bernardino. I don't know how many is in the county, but they don't take the time to get to know who the leaders are in their community. So, unless something goes wrong, and then they go, in search. But the thing that is so beautiful about the Black population in our county is you can find them. They're not hard to find. The leaders in Hispanic community, you can find them. They're not hard to find. Indian, you can find them. They're not hard to find.
So I get the impression that you're traveling in more than 8 circles, Leah. And also the impression that you have, your significant work has been done a lot undercover, that you
Lot.
really haven't, you don't mind who gets the credit.
No.
You do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And as we get closer to the end of our interview, I just kind of would like your philosophy. If you were, someone's watching this
Okay.
50 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
and they're interested in supporting their community,
Mm-hmm.
they're interested in learning more about the history of this community, what kind of philosophy or character traits can you share that make you do what you do?
Okay. I heard it once where it was said, it's like creating some gumbo or a pot of stew. The pot of stew or the gumbo is your dream, your purpose. So what you do is you look around to see who's going to help you cut up the vegetables or whatever it is that you're going to put in your stew. And you can't create the stew without first finding out who you are and what your purpose is and what you actually want to do. And that's a quiet and a still time. Nobody can help you with that except for you coming to a decision yourself. And then in that decision, moving towards those who can help you with whatever it is. So whether it's volunteering, whether it's finding a career, whatever it is that is in your community. It could be just even at your local elementary school that your child goes to. finding out from the principal what that school needs. It doesn't matter. It's just find out what your purpose and what your mission is, and create that good bowl of soup. Because when it starts simmering and it starts smelling good, nobody can be more happier than you.
Very good. Is there anything that you want to leave on this tape?
I would like to leave the importance of giving back and the importance of mentoring and giving somebody not a handout, giving somebody a hand up. It could be small or large, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it builds your self.